Good morning. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Nicely done, guys. Beautiful. Many thanks to the X Block ASL class who just helped us by signing the Pledge of Allegiance. Good job, guys. And here's Laura.
Good morning. Today is a white day and it's Thursday, September 28th. Do you want to know what's going to look really cool? Your student ID card photo in the yearbook because you didn't stop by Fuller Hall to have your photo taken. Any junior, sophomore, or ninth grader who has not yet stopped by Fuller Hall stage to have Mr. Legge take your photo for the yearbook, you must do that today before 3 p.m. Today is the final day for photos. All seniors are welcome to stop by too if you would like to use that as your senior photo. There will be a full student government meeting today right after school in Fuller Basement. Please see Mr. Ryan with any questions. Attention class of 2026. Class gear orders are due by the end of the day tomorrow, Friday, September 29th. A reminder that you can pay the $24 fee with cash, check, or credit card. Please check the order form or speak to Mr. O'Brien if you have any questions. Student Diversity Council will meet this Friday morning at 7:15 in Ranger 210. Reach out to Ms. Smith, Ms. Yates, or Ms. Hibbert with any questions. Please be sure to bring your SPF 50 sunscreen to Friday night's football game. Maybe some shades and a Hawaiian shirt too. The theme will be beach theme. To all those interested in Hilltopper Literary Society, aka Fancy Schmancy Book Club, the read of our first book cycle is Marilyn Robinson's Gilead. If you are interested in reading with us, please email Mr. Dembski or Addison Chandler to share this interest. Interested but not yet a member of book club? We are interested in having you. Please reach out to us. It's not too late to demonstrate your interest. This Friday, the Makeup Club will be hosting a face painting fundraiser at the football game to raise money to help the club start and buy supplies. The cost will be anywhere from $1 to $5. Make sure to stop by any time between 6:30 and 8 to show your school spirit. Vote for your Hilltoppers in this week's Caledonian Record Athlete of the Week, cross-country runner Andrew Thornton Sherman, or soccer player Silius Chapman. And now, Mr. Camelio's Joke of the Week. What did the drummer call his two twin daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2. Happy birthday today to Spencer Hayes and Hannah Powers. A special happy birthday today to Brianna Bunnell from her advisory and to Phoebe Della Briere from the Farnham advisory. Happy birthday. Today there will be JV and varsity volleyball versus South Burlington, 4:30 and 6, boys golf at Chaplin Country Club, and girls golf at Alberg Country Club at 4. Please dismiss the team at 12. And that's it for announcements. So good morning. You asked and we listened. Last year, one of the most frequent feedback we received was that no one really knew what student government does or has been up to. So I'm here to change that with a hopefully regular update from student government. We hope you're all having a great Tuesday, and we're excited to share what we've been up to so far. Firstly, we want to introduce you to your student government officers for this academic year. Me, our student body president, Konosuke Oi, our vice president, Siri Jolliffe, our treasurer, and Dolma Sherpa, our secretary. These people, along with 6 representatives from your class, are working hard to listen to your ideas and problems, find solutions, and make the school the best that it can be. So far, our meetings have been focusing on passing clubs and fundraisers that have been proposed by you. From special effects makeup clubs to literary societies, the ideas that have been brought to us so far are providing interesting and exciting new opportunities for us as a student body to explore. We have been looking at and reviewing proposals for school-wide fundraisers built to help improve our experience here at the Academy, and class fundraisers to support your classes individually. Something else exciting that we've been focusing on are our committees. Student government has a series of 6 committees that focus on different areas of interest at the Academy. From PR to social justice to food and parking, we are narrowing down our focuses in order to create a positive and measurable change in specific places in our community. Having 6 committees with vastly different focuses ensures that there is always a specific set of passionate student leaders that are ready to tackle issues that may arise in any field. I can't say anything yet, but the committees each have something special surprise planned for the upcoming weeks. If you ever need something, feel free to talk to a student government officer, rep, or Mr. Ryan. Stay tuned for information about how you can run for student government later this week. We're incredibly excited to have our student representative elections, and we can't wait to see you there. Have a great day.
Thank you, Laura. A couple of late announcements. JV football beat CVU 21-14. Owen Marcotte had 2 rushing touchdowns, and Evan Summers had 1 touchdown reception. Both the offensive and defensive lines played well. Congratulations to the team. Congratulations to varsity field hockey, who beat Harwood for their first win, 4-0. Maggie Langless, Meredith Roy, Ella Blanchard, and Esme Kimber scored the 4 goals, and Samara Rutledge and Lucia Stevenson played strong in the goal for a shutout. Good job, field hockey. Nice work. So a quick word about our late announcements and our sports score announcements. I've heard from some of you that it sounds like all we do is win, and we don't announce any losses. But what I want to suggest to the coaches in the room, and we can emphasize this, please emphasize this with your coaches, we would like to hear about every game that you feel is noteworthy. So when you've fought like the Dickens and lost and been edged out in double overtime, let's say, we want to hear about that. So please do share stories. If it's just a score, I don't announce it. If there's a little story with it, I do. So please keep that in mind. So I've promised myself that I would wait 2 weeks between poems, and I confess, please forgive me, it's been 2 weeks since my last poem. I love that there are so many walks happening in this early fall to raise awareness about one thing or another, including ours last week. Walking is something poets tend to do a lot of, not running necessarily because that takes energy and focus, but ambling is something poets do often. So I'm going to read a poem from the American poet A.R. Ammons called Corson's Inlet, and the frame of the poem is a walk in New England nature. And it mimics how we look at the world while we're walking through it. We look at big things and we look at tiny things and then back at big things. And most things in nature are not neat and orderly, like the frame of a house, but they have a larger order that we can see glimpses of when we're paying attention. So by the end of the walk, it becomes a stand-in in this poem for taking every new day as it comes, sometimes feeling scared that we're not really understanding or mastering things or following a path, but for always being willing to go out for another walk. So please, if you're tired, enjoy the sound of the words if you're not into trying to follow the logic. Spread out into the spaces left by your ill classmates, and enjoy. Corson's Inlet by A.R. Ammons. I went for a walk over the dunes again this morning to the sea, then turned right along the surf, rounded a naked headland, and returned along the inlet shore. It was muggy, sunny, the wind from the sea steady and light, crisp in the turning sand, some breakthroughs of sun, but after a bit, continuous overcast. The walk liberating. I was released from forms, from the perpendiculars, straight lines, blocks, boxes, binds of thought, into the hues and shadings and rises, flowing bends and blends of sight. I allow myself eddies of meaning, yield to a direction of significance, running like a stream through the geography of my work. You can find in my sayings swerves of action, like the inlet's cutting edge. There are dunes of motion, organizations of grass, white sandy paths of remembrance in the overall wandering of the mirroring mind. But overall is beyond me. It is the sum of these events I cannot draw, the ledger I cannot keep, the accounting beyond the account. In nature, there are few sharp lines. There are areas of primroses, more or less dispersed, disorderly orders of bayberry between the rows of dunes, irregular swamps of reeds, though not Reeds alone, but grass and bayberry and yarrow, but predominantly reeds. I've reached no conclusions. I've erected no boundaries. Shutting out and shutting in, separating inside from outside, I have drawn no lines. As manifold events of sand change the dune's shape, that will not be the same shape tomorrow. So I'm willing to go along, to accept the becoming, to stake off no beginnings or ends, establish no walls. By transition, the land falls from grassy dunes to creek to undercreek, but there are no lines, though the change in that transition is clear as any sharpness, but sharpness spread out, allowed to occur over a wider range than our mental lines can keep. The moon was full last night. Today, low tide was low. Black shoals of mussels exposed to the risk of air and earlier of sun, waved in and out with the waterline inexact, caught always in the event of change. A young mottled gull stood free on the shoals and ate to vomiting. Another gull, squawking possession, cracked a crab, picked out the entrails, swallowed the soft-shelled legs, a ruddy turnstone running in to snatch the leftover bits. Risk is full. Every living thing in siege. The demand is life, and to keep life, the small white black-legged egret, how beautiful, quietly stalks and spears the shallows, darts to shore to stab what? I couldn't see against the black mudflats. A frightened fiddler crab? The news to my left over the dunes and reeds and bayberry clumps was fall. Thousands of tree swallows gathering for flight, an order held in constant change, a congregation rich with entropy, nevertheless separable, noticeable as one event, not chaos, preparations for flight from winter. Wings rifling the green clumps, beaks at the bayberries, a perception full of wind, flight, curve, sound, the possibility of rule as the sum of rulelessness, the field of action with moving, incalculable center. In the smaller view, order with tight shape, blue tiny flowers on a leafless weed, carapace of crab, snail shell, pulsations of order in the bellies of minnows, orders swallowed and broken down and transferred through membranes to strengthen larger orders. But in the large view, no lines or changeless shapes, the working in and out together and against of millions of events. This so that I make no form of formlessness. I see narrow orders, limited tightness, but will not run to that easy victory. Still around the looser, wider forces I work, I will try to fasten into order enlarging grasps of disorder, widening scope, but enjoying the freedom that scope eludes my grasp, that there is no finality of vision, that I have perceived nothing completely, that tomorrow is a new walk. Thank you. Thanks for your attention. All right, everybody, notice the order and disorder in your lives today. Enjoy faculty.